Sponsor now at
I'd go look up
compassion.com/radio. That's
Football Outsiders have like a
compassion.com/radio.
drop stat.
That's
Smack my bitch up.
Don't get older now. Eric Asher next at noon on Sports 1280 New Orleans.
One more segment here on Dunc and Holder. Delvin Breaux, the ultimate mystery, I feel like. I don't know how well he would have played last year. We know what happened with him as far as the injury, and let's panic on airline drive, and let's float a report that we're going to trade him, and then all of a sudden, oh, whoops, he's got a broken leg. Our bad.
Yeah, that was bad.
That's insert the Price is Right horn here. Boom, 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 boom. Exactly. See, I knew he'd jump.
He has it.
That's why I did it. He's got that old.
He's got it down.
The bugle.
Yeah,
Clyde is
it's
the
amazing
bugle.
how I've been able to do that in my life.
I thought it was a little mysterious, adding to the intrigue, that late in the season, Delvin Breaux' locker was completely cleaned out, and that he was flying commercial. I think he was on the same flight that we were on, or at least I was on, to Atlanta late in the year, not with the team. Those things are always interesting to me.
You do remember.
I don't read too much into it, but they usually don't clean their lockers out.
No, you usually don't.
Because usually have rehab there and stuff.
Well, maybe he didn't. He doesn't trust the Saints doctors.
But he was there. But it was there for a while. His locker was filled for most of the season, and then all of a sudden, late in the year, it was empty.
Also, interesting that in the press box at the Saints-Vikings game, NFC divisional round, remember the two players that were in the press box with us?
Yes.
Kenny Vaccaro and Delvin Breaux.
In the press box, which was random.
Jettisoned off, like you can't even be on the field. Get out of here.
I think the word we got was that they both had lower leg injuries that required them to sit, not stand.
That makes sense.
So it does make sense.
I know.
But it was weird seeing them up in
the press box of all that. We have club, suite access. What?
Yeah, they were up in press row right down from us.
Exactly, getting in the buffet like Jonathan Sullivan did way back in the day. But no, this is the other scenario. The last time you saw Delvin Breaux play, he wasn't 100%. He rushed back from that leg injury. He still got the leg injury. You don't know what he is. Is a cornerback maybe worth the risk at $2 million to tender? Is that worth the risk?
I think so. If you think he's going to come back, I mean, corners are valued. The Saints have learned that lesson more than anybody the last few years. If you've got a good corner, you can't have enough good ones. So get him under contract. He's a local guy. I mean, I don't know what happened with the entire injury situation, but I don't think you move on from Delvin Breaux at $2 million.
And obviously not as something that you should take as gospel, but clearly he was involved in the season. When the Saints were doing well, when the Saints were doing bad, he was involved with basically on social media saying, praising the guys, still praising the team, still very much involved with how the ebbs and flows of the Saints season. So, it's strange that his locker's cleared out and things like that, but again, you shouldn't take it as gospel, but it still seems like he's very invested in this team and the players.
Well, also, this is the team that gave him his shot. So that's one thing. And depending on those, and we could say, oh, Delvin Breaux, this and that. This is on the Saints. I mean, the Delvin Breaux has no negotiating power. So if this is all on the Saints, do they feel like that he can come back? Do they feel like it's worth the risk? Let's throw $2 million. Let's see if he's going to do that. Because I think you know more, you know less about him than you do about Coleman and Snead. Like, you probably have a good idea. All right, what are these guys? You don't know what Delvin Breaux is going to be. You just don't. Is it worth the $2 million risk to do that?
Yeah, that was a weird situation last year because I don't know if you all felt the same way, but I thought when he got hurt in camp, he was going to be back in like 4 weeks or something.
Well, the Saints were under that impression too.
And all of a sudden, he missed the entire season, basically.
Well, that's because he had a fracture in his leg. The Saints were under that same impression, and that's probably goes into it. That's the prognosis he was getting. Then he went and goes and gets a second opinion, and he's got a broken leg, and then doctors get fired.
But I thought even after that, we were led to believe he was going to be back.
We were led
to believe that
he could have been
significant of an injury.
It was significant enough, but you'd had enough time to heal it. That short-term IR would have been something they would have done. And then Sean Payton just kind of called it and said, nope, he's not going to be ready. So they could in that sense, maybe they wanted to move on from him. I don't know. These three players are certainly more interesting to follow what they're going to do than maybe the unrestricted guys.
I think because the position value of cornerback, Delvin Breaux is the top priority of the restricted guys, without question. Now, do the Saints feel that way? I don't know. But, they're in a great position. But this is their top situation, their biggest concerns, other than obviously Drew Brees, because everybody else is under contract that matters. There are not too many teams in the league with as low a priorities as the Saints have going into free agency.
1 minute.
Yeah, absolutely. So good show. I want to thank Andrew Lopez for actually stopping by the office, the place where he works. So that's good to see him once every 5 months.
when he's not at every single LSU sporting event that they have on campus.
When he's not like throwing an arm to be at one place and his legs left somewhere else, and they've got to do the typing for him. So I want to thank Andrew Lopez for all of his LSU insight and good conversation. You missed any of it? Sports1280.com, NOLA.com, iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube page. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I assume we will have Will Guillory to get us back updated with the Pelicans moving in the second half of the season. So good show, guys. We will be back here tomorrow. And Eric Asher coming up next. So don't go anywhere. Sports 1280, NOLA.com, the iHeartRadio app. Dunc and Holder.